Hey guys, so today I'm going to just show you just basic makeup. We're still in the quarantine, so there's not too much to do or anything to get too extravagant for. So I'm just going to run a few errands and go to the park. So I'm just going to do like a light makeup, especially since we have to, wear our mask here. I might not even put foundation or my tinted moisturizer here. Probably just keep it more focused on the eyes and the forehead section. So I'm gonna first start off with my eyebrows, in which I use the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I love this. I use the color medium brown. I've switched between medium brown, dark brown, all types of colors. I use their, what do you call it, their pomade as well. Yeah, so I use the pomade, the dip brow pomade as well. But I like to use this more so on like if I want my eyebrows to be a little bit heavier, if I'm going out. For the daytime, I usually just stick with the pencil, or they have like the duo shade powder, but I ran out of that. And since we're in quarantine, and I'm not a huge online shopper, so I just want to wait until the stores open and just go in the stores, browse, take it, have it home the same day. So I'll wait until then, but I'm gonna start off with eyebrows. And what I do, and what I have on my face right now is nothing. Just, well, I can't say nothing. I have moisturizer, but you know what? I need to put a primer on, and I'm actually in the market for a good primer. I've tested out the Fenty Beauty, not the matte. So the matte primer I didn't care for too much, like it makes me too matte, and I'm very oily, so I do need something that like absorbs the oil, but I just don't like, I don't care for the matte look. And the Fenty Beauty matte I tried and I wasn't a big fan of it, but the other one, I forgot. I think it's just the instant retouch primer, because it's not the hydrating one, because I don't need the hydrating one, but the middle one, the second one, I did like that one. So I think I'm going to go in and purchase that. I've tried the Becca. It just, I feel like with Becca, it's very, very strong, and I'll have to put it in like the primary areas, which I'm oily all over, like literally everywhere, from my forehead to my T-zone, and then gets oily in my cheek area, so especially like in my chin. So I have to pretty much put the primer all over my face. But with Becca, I would definitely use like a small amount, put it on my T-zone area, and just like mainly like my chin. But once we figure out this whole quarantine thing and get back in business and in motion, I'm going to purchase a primer. But what I have here is, this is Chantecaille Ultra Sun Protection Sunscreen Primer, and it's SPF 45. So I bought this just as an SPF. Honestly, it was like I didn't really think too much of it. It was just, I was sold on it. She just gave me like very like good feedback. And really, oh, I should have showed you the consistency. But it's a white cloudy consistency, but it's not, it feels oily, but it doesn't, it feels oily when I take it out and put it into my hand, but it doesn't feel oily going onto my skin or make it oily at all. As you can see, like there's not much of a difference. I'm not oily, but it dries up very quickly. It's nice and smooth, but it does have like a white cloudy consistent color to it. And it doesn't put a cast or anything over my face, so it works great for me. And you just need like a pea size amount, and that works fine. I've noticed that some of the some of my like foundations or my tinted moisturizers, they have SPF in there as well, which is a good thing. I am missing, oh, let's just start with brows. Okay, so I'm going to use my medium brown. And I always start off with the front of the brow. And they definitely need to be done because we've been in quarantine and they need to be shaped. I've trimmed them already, but I can definitely tell they've grown back a bit. They're just a little, they're getting a little bit wild. In which my hair is definitely like curly, thick, so they get wild, a little wild. So I just trim them. I like them trimmed to just keep them more uniformed. Just, it shapes it a little bit better, especially when they're like freshly waxed. They just look so good. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the front and just like outline the shape of my brow before I fill them in. And I just like to take it nice and slow so I don't mess up the shape too much. And then I start at the bottom first. And sometimes I take the tail a little bit longer than I should, just because like, I mean, once we put the concealer and clean it up, it won't be, I can shape it a little bit better, but it's just something I do. And so now I'm gonna go and outline the top. And make sure I connect the tail. So when I'm finished, this is what I have. If you can see here, and I outline the top. So my eyebrows, they're a little bit sparse at the bottom here, but can't tell once you fill them in. And honestly, it doesn't really make a difference for me too much because I don't know. Once I get them shaped, they're better. That's why I can't wait to get them waxed. Once we're out of quarantine. Quarantine has held off on everything. I need my nails done. I've actually took it upon myself to paint my toes. That was a project for sure. But it was fine. I haven't done my toes myself in a while, so it just brought me back to the basics, and I got it done. And it's so funny. Well, it's not funny to me, but literally right before like we were forced, or this state was told to stay at home, it was like I was about to get a manicure and pedicure, but just didn't make the cutoff time. And I had on the Apris nails, which I loved, but I had to soak those off and like file them off myself. That was time consuming and a big headache because when you're in the shop, like when you get your no chip soaked off or your dip powder soaked off, it's like your false nails soaked off. It takes time, but in the shop they have the drill. I don't have a drill here, so I had to patiently wait and soak my nails and file them off and soak my nails and file them off and soak my nails and file them off and file them off and finally file them off. And then I took one of my the cuticle utensil. I took that and just started like once the acrylic was, well, it wasn't acrylic, so I have to give you details on the nails because what it is, it's actually a complete nail, and like it came in my shape and everything, and I know it wasn't glue. I'm gonna give you the specific details another time because like the nails, I love them. They're very sturdy. I had the no chip on top of it, so it didn't scratch at all. I mean, of course, like the nail, it literally came in the almond shape already, so it held its shape the entire time. And they just worked very well for me. Like, they didn't break. I had them for what? With the quarantine, I probably had them for about 3 weeks, probably a month, and they did not one nail broke. Not one. And I know they've been like banged against something during the whole time that I had them, and none of them broke. And that's the thing I hate about like with acrylic nails, like when they break, that's frustrating. Cause now you have like this broke nail, then you gotta go back in the shop, get it repaired, and then like that one looks like all freshly done, and the rest of them are grown out. Just, I mean, who wants to break a false or a real nail? Nobody likes a broken nail. All right, so back to the brows. So now I'm just gonna lightly fill them in. Come a little bit closer to this mirror. And I don't like to make it too heavy, especially because, like I said, I'm just running a few errands, so I just don't want something light and cute. And I'm actually running low on this pencil too, so I need to make a list of a few things I need. But I love this pencil. I like how thin it is. I love the way it fills my brows in. It's not like heavy, sticky. It's just perfectly light. Okay, so I have one done, one and done. Okay, so now let's go over to the sister brow. And if you hear noise, that's the TV on downstairs, the birds chirping. I'm right next to a window, but I'm sure it shouldn't be too bad. Nothing's too loud. I have the window open because I love fresh air. It's very beautiful outside too. It started getting in the 70s. I'm in LA, so it started getting in the 70s. Maybe last week, yeah, 70s. So today is 78. It's gonna be in the 80s tomorrow. So I'm excited. You know, just get outside, walk around. Warm. It's dress season. So I love dresses. That's why I love the weather here, because like in the fall time is still like 50, 60 degrees. So you can still wear like, you know, a cute sweater dress. You don't have to put on a heavy coat. You could just still be in a dress or a skirt. Like a skirt and tights is perfect versus a skirt, tights, and a coat, or just the weather here is beautiful, basically. All right, so I have this brow finished, and now what I'm going to do is clean them up a bit. So when I say clean them up, I mean I'm going to go in with the concealer by Fenty. And this one here is the Matchstick in Caramel, okay? Caramel. And I love how like these matchsticks, like they have magnets in them, they just all stick together, because then like it's just like a cluster. But this isn't all like this one. The second one is my contour stick in Truffle, and this one is a shimmer stick, so like, you know, a highlight in Rum. And this one all, yeah, this is my trio pack. These all came together. So the concealer, contour, and a highlighter, it all came together. This was when she first came out. So imagine, okay, so yeah, no, I pretty much For the past, what, 2-3 years, I do my eyebrows like every day. So I got this when Fenty first launched, and I mean, of course, like, I don't use the same highlighter. I don't contour every day. But this concealer, I use every day. Like, maybe, I forgot it one time or just, whatever. But I pretty much use this 90% of the time. And this is what I have left. So I am getting low, but not low where it's like I need it tomorrow. But low like, probably down the line in the next 3-4 months, I'll need a new one. But that's still a long time. I've had this a long time. I had to find out when Fenty launched, because I've had this for a while. I'm happy. It does its job. And what I like about it, so it's creamy, but it's not like very oily. It goes on very smooth, and my brush picks it up perfectly. Oh, sorry. And the brush I'm using, this is an angle brush. I like to go in under, as you can see, like under here, and edge the eyebrow. So I try not to put on too much. Okay. One and done. So yeah, I try not to put on too much, but things happen. I think it's really important, especially during this time since we're wearing masks, to focus, on everything that the mask covers. So right now, playing up on your eyes, having your brows perfect, shaped, highlighted, concealed, filled, everything is what it's all about during the quarantine. Because nobody can, and my favorite part of makeup, I would say, is lipstick. Definitely, yeah, lipstick. So, nobody can see my lipstick. So, nobody can see my lips. Pretty much have your nose covered. So, it's all about being a genie in a bottle, baby. I feel like the ladies who, cover up everything but their eyes, which is fine. It's different, but not all the time. Because, I hate breathing through those masks. I really do. I have like a little inexpensive one. It's pink. I put some pearls on them just to make it cute. Make it different, make it fun. And at first I wasn't even wearing a mask. But then like a doctor in the grocery store, he just offered a bunch of masks to me, which I appreciated because it's part of his profession, is being healthy. He's looking out for society, and I just appreciate it because probably a week later, it was mandatory to have a mask. So that's when I went and bought the pink one, and it's just like a pink cotton jersey material one. So it's nothing special, very thin, but breathing in it is a little difficult. So when you put the concealer, you can like clean up. So if you make them too thick, you can make them thinner. You can define the shape more. It definitely gives your eyebrow a little bit more definition. So I try not to make them too thick. Sometimes I can go crazy and do that, but I try to make sure I don't make them too thin as well. But with my eyebrows, they're already thick. I would say, yeah, they're thick. So me making them too thin is not too much of a concern, because then I have just hairs like outside of the shape and it just doesn't look right. So the main thing for me is just not making it too thick, defining the shape. Liberty, liberty. Sorry, a commercial. I just heard the commercial on the TV downstairs. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go back and fill in any spots that like I messed up. I took it out with the concealer. And sometimes I even go back with my pomade and outline the edges a little bit more, but today is a light day, so not today. And I'm gonna take the spoolie end and fluff them out a little bit. It takes the color away a little bit. It fades it, so it's not as like dark and heavy. It manages the hairs, get them all in order, in formation. Because like I said, mine are curly, so they do get a little wild. Okay, so I think this is good. All right, so we have step one, eyebrows. And I like to start with the eyebrows because with my foundation or tinted moisturizer, I could just always go around it. That's a little bit more time consuming, so I like to get those things done first. And especially with eyeshadow, I'm not gonna do eyeshadow today, but I start with that first as well, because like, you know, if anything falls down or if I have to redo it and like, you know, wipe it off or anything, I can do that without like wiping off the foundation or whatever. So I like to start up here. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with, sorry guys, just trying to make sure everything stays PG-13. And speaking of PG-13, my tinted moisturizer is in my makeup bag in my purse. So let me find that. And where's my beauty blender? Oh, I think that's over there. Okay. So let me put you back in here. Okay. So now we're back. And well, it's not like picture perfect, camera ready, because it has been used, and I don't know where this dark stuff comes from, but whatever. So I like to use this YSL. This is their Touche Eclat. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I'm gonna look it up, make sure. But this is all-in-one glow, and it does have SPF in there. It has an SPF of 23. And so it says a natural medium coverage, oil-free. When I looked online, it said it was under the tinted moisturizer category. It is a little bit thicker than a tinted moisturizer, and when I compare it to a tinted moisturizer, I mean like Laura Mercier, that's the one that I do use. I am out of it. I use the oil-free one, but this one does have a little bit more coverage than the Laura Mercier, but I still like it because it's still not as heavy as a foundation, but it goes on very smoothly. It's like the perfect tint color for me. And so I just put like a few drops on my face, and I'm going to go in with Sephora. This is foundation brush 47. And we're just gonna smooth this on out. And then don't forget to move your, well, I have on a wig, so I have to make sure I move it back a little bit so I can get on those sides just in case the wind blows and it blows my hair back. You can see those outer edges, and I don't want it to look much different than my foundation, than the rest of my face, the foundation. And I love this brush. Like, I got it, I had ordered something on Sephora, and there was a time where you can get a free brush when you got a foundation. Oh yeah, the one I ordered when Pat McGrath first came out with her foundation. I got this brush. It was right on time because I do have Hourglass, this foundation brush, but this is more for like when I put on like my regular foundation. It's like heavier coverage. You can see it's a little bit like more compact, so it's for more medium to full coverage. Okay, perfect. And like I said, it's gonna be very basic today. Very basic. So now I'm gonna go in with Too Faced. Where are you? It's probably, oh no, here it is. So this is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and this is the color Mocha. So, and I forgot to tell you what color the YSL is. I think it goes by like a number, but I don't see it exactly. So, sorry, but if I find it, I will definitely list it for you. And so, back to Too Faced. When I bought this, I didn't know how, I don't know, to me, it seems to like blend in. So it doesn't like really highlight, which is fine. What I do use for highlighting is NARS, and I do like that. So I guess, you know, with this one, like today is a simple day. I'm not being too fancy with it. Just want to look put together. And so this is perfect. But it does, like, I mean, it is a little bit lighter, as you can see. But like when I blend it, it just blends in. It doesn't highlight too much, but that's okay. So I like to let this sit for a little bit. And if I was doing, like if I did my eyes, I would like let this sit and then go in and maybe just, you know, touch up my brows, you know, make sure everything's good on that. And I do have a fan, so I like to fan it a little bit, let it dry. That means the foundation can sit in a little bit better. It gets settled. And for concealer, I do have a concealer brush, but I prefer to use my beauty blender. My beauty blender. Already been used. I like to use this end so I can get in like the corner and the crease of my eye when I'm blending it. So I just like to use like light pats, because the eye is definitely a sensitive area. Thin skin. And then there's no need to like beat your face up. You're getting pretty. So nice and gentle. And this year, being here, this is like the first time. But I've been tanned all year. Like, usually, you tan in the summertime, then come winter and fall, you tend to go back to your regular shade, and that makes you have to have like, different color foundations, but not this year. Well, this past year, I haven't had to change. I've been the same color. And that's fine. I didn't have to buy a separate foundation. But I think for the summertime, I am going to try a matte foundation. But I just hope it doesn't make me like look super matte. But like how I get oily throughout the day, I probably do need it. But I'm more of like a satin finish girl. I don't really like matte. Okay, so now that that is done, I'm gonna go in with my setting spray. And this is the Lancome Fix It, Forget It. And I chose this one because, okay, so it holds up to 24-hour makeup setting mist with plant extracts. And so I chose this because I am oily, and it has witch hazel in it, but to be honest, I don't know if I notice a difference, but that's okay. It's all trial and error pretty much. And I'm gonna use Too Faced Better Than Sex. It's one of my favorites. Mascara. And so my eyelashes are wild as well. Like, majority of them are curly, but there's a few that are like very straight, and the ones that are curly, like either they like curl in a lot, or like they're like coiled and twisted curly, and then like they get in my eye. I did comb them out before I started putting on anything, before I got on camera. I am ordering a heated eyelash curler, so I'm excited about that. And I'll give you all details in regards to what it does for me. I have tried a lash lift, which is pretty much a keratin treatment on my eyelashes, and it works out perfectly, because like it gets them all uniformed. You're sitting there for a while with it on there, so it's pretty much a lash perm. It straightens it out a bit, but with it being on the band, it gives it a curl. So for me, it more so elongates my eyelashes. And I try my best, like when I smear, because not if, but when I do, I guess not all the time I do smear, but so when I do smear the mascara like on my eyelids and it gets on my face, I try to just let it dry, because then it's easier to come off, versus if you do it immediately when it's wet, it smears. It's something new I've been doing, because I just wiped it off when it smeared, but it is one trick I have learned, to just let it dry out, and it'll come off much easier and better. Okay. All right. So see, I do have some spots where I smeared. But like I said, we're gonna let that dry and come back to it. So I'm just gonna highlight my brow bone. And I have this Anastasia Duo pencil. So one is the highlighter for the brow bone. And then this one you can use to conceal as well. And I can't remember if they have different colors because this color is a little bit too light for me when I tried to conceal it. So I tend not to use it, but I love this highlighting pencil. It's gold. It's golden. Okay. And lastly, we're gonna go in with blush. And my go-to, like, simple, everyday, doesn't matter, just, I need some type of color to my face, is this Tarte. It's called Party. As you can see, it's Party. But the color is like a nice rosy, like blush pink. Like it's not a bright pink, it's not a hot pink. It's a dusty rose pink. That's what I should say. It's nice and light, but it's perfect for every day. I love to pair this when I wear like a red lipstick and I just want the lips to pop. This to be simple. But what I do like about Tarte blushes is that they do have Amazonian clay in there. So that's helpful for all my oily people. I think in like all of their products they have like Amazonian clay. So I guess I should try that brand out a little bit more, but so far I love their blushes. Well, this blush. And unfortunately, it looks like I broke out here. I got 2 little bumps, but they come, they go. The worst are those hormonal, that time of the month bumps. All right. So I don't know if you can tell because I know the sun, but once I'm finished, I'm pretty much finished. I'm gonna move and show you how this blush sits on my face. Nice, light, and pretty. Oh, sorry. And this is Hourglass, their blush brush. It's number 2. I love it. It's very soft. It's sturdy. It's like the perfect blush brush because it completely fits the apple of my cheeks. So I just like to dust that. I love just the construction, the color of the brush. It's perfect. It's my little treat. And I know that Hourglass, the brush hairs, they're vegan. But maybe one day on a video I'll go a little bit like further in detail of what it's like vegan, what it's composed of, and all that good stuff. Alright, so now we have blush. I'm pretty much done. I need to powder. And I am out of my translucent powder by Laura Mercier. So what I've been using is, I have NARS. This is, it's Sunstone. This is their light reflecting setting powder. I like it. I think it gives me a little bit more of an orangier complexion, unfortunately. But sometimes I feel that way. But for the most part, I like it. I love NARS. The lipstick, the foundation, highlighters. I just love the brand. Definitely have to get that T-zone. That's the most important. Go over the blush slightly. Okay. So that's that. And now it's time to go in and clean up the mascara. So I try to get off what I can without dipping it in makeup remover first. Okay, so that did it perfect. Q-tips are the best. And now I just want to go back. I'm going to use, so this is my MAC Studio Fix in NC45. And I'm just going to go under the eye. I'm going to use this Hourglass brush number 5. And so this is the NC45. And go back under the eye. And this just kind of like, it's kind of like a setting powder for me under the eye. It sets the concealer in place a little bit better. And it does give my face a little bit more of a highlight. And another good thing about this is like when you get mascara underneath, you can't seem to get rid of all the dark spots. This is your friend. Or I mean, you can always go back in with the concealer and apply it that way, but since I'm gonna do this step anyway, I just choose to keep it this way. And so then I like to go down the bridge of my nose and in the middle, above the brows, but in the middle where I do apply concealer, like to pat it around there too. So it just gives it like a little bit more of a clean finish, a powdered finish, I should say. Okay. Alright. And today I'm not doing lipstick because I'm going to be under my mask. So I don't want to get the mask dirty underneath my lipstick. So I'm just going to keep it plain, but let me show you how everything looks. So maybe you can see my blush a little bit. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, a little. So that's how the blush looks. Well, thank you for watching, and definitely subscribe. And I will keep you all updated with more videos very soon. Thanks. Bye.